guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is actually going to be a little bit different, a little change of pace of what you're used to seeing from me. This video, as you probably saw by the title, is a Q&A video. So I asked you a couple of weeks ago to write down all of the questions that you wanted to ask me over on the community tab, and I also posted it on my Instagram story. I got quite a few questions, and I also went through my old questions on my comments and stuff and kind of picked some of the random questions that I had on there. So let's go ahead and get started. Before we actually get started, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, NomadBasic. They are a just launched clothing brand that provides neutral colors, simple and practical clothing that can be dressed up or down. I'm actually wearing a couple of their pieces now, and I have to say that the quality is amazing and they are extremely comfortable. Their clothing comes in cashmere, silk cashmere blends, pure wool, and linen fabrics, with pieces that are great for relaxing, sleeping, going out and about, or even working from home. As someone who spends a lot of time working from home on my computer, wearing comfortable clothes that can easily be dressed up to run errands, etc. is important. I find that their minimalistic, soft, and neutral clothing really works well with my style. Y'all know that I also furniture flip, and I know a lot of you do too. Well, they also provide a beautiful variety of woven baskets that could be great to use for staging. Be sure to check out their website because NomadBasic is providing me with a unique discount code you can use for 10% off their website. The code is GLE10. I will have the link down in the description for you so you can take advantage of the discount. Now let's go ahead and get started. The first question that I had was from Lori G, and she had kind of multiple questions all in one, and I figured this was the best way to introduce myself to those who don't really know me or don't know more details about me. Lori G asked, when did you grow up? When did you marry? How many kids? And how old are you? So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Glenda Chavez, and I am now 30 years old. It's so hard to say that. And I know the older community is probably going to tell me to get over it. But anyways, I just turned 30 this past year, and I do have one child. You see her all the time on my videos. I'm with her most of the time, if not 99% of the time. I've been married to my husband going on 11 years this upcoming year. We did marry very young. I was 19, he was 20 at the time. It was shortly after graduating from high school. And that brings me to the question, where did you grow up? So I'm actually Latina. I was born in Mexico, raised there for a year, and then shortly after moved over to Houston. I was there for the majority of my life. It wasn't until shortly after getting married that we moved to the Pasadena area. And then now we live closer towards Galveston, a smaller town. Yesenia had a question, and she asked, are you a military wife? No, I'm actually not a military wife. Pat also asked, I'm wondering what your day job is. I see you wearing scrubs often. And yes, I used to get this a lot on my older videos because I would be wearing my scrubs while I was like doing the furniture flipping, and it was more so then than it is now. I just recently gave up my day job. I am actually doing this full time as far as like flipping furniture, YouTube, creating content for you guys and myself, and also renovating my home. But to answer Pat's question, I used to be a licensed vet tech here in the state of Texas. I am still licensed. I will continue to upkeep my license, but I don't see a future in being a vet tech, at least not for the next few years. I do plan on having more kids, more likely just one more, and I don't want to sacrifice my time with my child or my children, and so financially we are able to do that, where I am able to stay home and just raise them. And I am incredibly fortunate to be able to do that. I know a lot of people who wish they could aren't able to, so definitely don't take that for granted. The next question that I got was from Cassidy Schmitz, and her question was, what started you into furniture flipping? There was quite a few people who asked me this kind of question. It was just worded differently. She was the first question that I came across that said that. So like I mentioned before, I was a full-time vet tech before having my daughter. Shortly after having my daughter, she was born back in November of 2019. So it was literally a few months before the pandemic hit. By the time the pandemic had hit, I had already decided that I wanted to stay home with her more. So at that time, that's when I decided to just kind of do it as needed as opposed to part-time. And I realized it was a lot harder for me emotionally and mentally to just be stuck at home. It really took a toll on my mental health on top of having a said newborn. I mean, she was only a couple of months when that happened. And so it was very hard for me to really find myself. It wasn't until I had literally, it's hard to talk about it sometimes, but it was literally like a 40 minute breakdown. I just lost it. And thankfully, after that, I was like, whoa, like something's really wrong. Like, this isn't like me. This isn't normal. I didn't know what I was feeling. I didn't know what I was going through. I didn't know whether it was normal, whether it was not. Yeah, one random day, after I had that breakdown, I realized something was wrong. And, I decided, well, I'm gonna redo her room, and I ended up picking a free dresser off of Facebook Marketplace because in my mind I thought I'm gonna paint it and then I'm gonna stick it in her room. Well, I ended up going through the whole entire process of painting it, and then I realized I don't really think I'm going with this color and scheme again, so let me just go ahead and post it back on Facebook Marketplace and sell it. And then I thought maybe I can take that money and change a different one to the color that I actually want. And that's really what kickstarted everything. So I haven't been doing this a long time. It was only right around the time that I started my YouTube channel. I started my YouTube channel only a couple of months after doing that first dresser. So yeah, I flipped that dresser unintentionally. I realized I made a profit and I was like, wow, I didn't realize this was a thing. So took on another one and another one. And then if you furniture flip, you understand it just kind of snowballs from there. Absena asked, did you take any courses to learn how to paint furniture? No. So I did not take any courses to learn how to paint furniture. I did all of my research online, whether that was Google, YouTube, any source of information I could find online as far as how to do it. Obviously, over time, I've kind of developed my method of doing things, what works best for me, what I feel works best for the furniture that I flip. So no, to answer your question, no, I did not take any courses to learn how to paint furniture. I just simply researched and learned my way through that and through trial and error. Lynn Atkins' question was, where do you get most of your pieces to restore? Most of the furniture that I pick up is either Facebook Marketplace, friends or family who have furniture they're giving away, or they know someone who's giving it away and no longer want it, and so I usually take it up. Curbside, anything that is just put out on the curb for trash, so technically trash. And auctions. I really do enjoy doing online auctions. You bid online and then you just go and pick up. You don't have to be present in order to do the auction, so that's pretty fun. And now, the famous question of, where did you learn how to do this? So there's always a bunch of, how did you learn how to do this? How did you get into home improvement? How did you get into learning how to do cabinetry or woodworking and stuff like that? And honestly, I'm self-taught. So I haven't taken any courses for any woodworking, home improvement, or furniture flipping. I've basically learned on my own. I do the research if I want to do something that I've never done before. A lot of these things I'm doing for the first time and you're seeing me do for the first time. I don't have anybody who's taught me how to do anything specifically. I research everything, whether again that's YouTube or Google, doesn't matter. Magazines are very, very helpful for me because I like to see things in paper. It's really, really helpful. I will usually take the basics of what I've gathered when I do research and trial and error. I just give it a shot, and sometimes it works out perfectly the first time. Other times it takes a couple of tries, but I'm not afraid to try it, and I think that's one of the main things that I want to encourage you to do is, if you want to learn how to do something, research it. There's so much information available to us on the internet. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be nervous, but it shouldn't stop you from trying something. I've always said, if I can do something, I know that you guys can too, because like I said, I'm doing a lot of these things for the first time. But anyways, that's all I have for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video and a little bit of change of pace, got to know me a little bit better. I want to thank y'all again for your continued support on my channel and on my projects and everything. You guys are always so supportive, and I appreciate that a lot. I really do. Because of you, I'm able to continue to do this, and I'm very grateful for that, and I'm humbled because of it, and I'll never stop thanking you for it because I really do appreciate it. But that's it. I will see y'all next week with another DIY project. Be kind. Bye.